Alright, Schlockmeister fans, by request from Marty. This one's called the DEACON Street Deer, another Disney movie. Let's watch. Alright, it's kind of dark, but we have two guys who work for a carnival, and they're, for lack of a better term, kidnapping a deer from the forest. It's going to be part of the circus, I guess. Well, the next day they're driving through a city, and damn crate falls out. Mario Lopez in an early role.
You could use a pair of sunglasses.
And Richard Mulligan, too. Bobby was kind of shunned by the kids in the neighborhood. He's new.
Rock and roll, a lot of bleeps and bloops. There's a video game store around the corner.
So as Bobby's walking along, he happens upon that deer. He decides he's going to do whatever he can to rescue that deer. Apparently trucks going up down the street want to hit deer they see in the city. Anyway, he and the deer end up in this warehouse or something, and he basically befriends the deer. And then some thugs come in, and they want the deer. I honestly don't know what they want the deer for, to be.
You gonna put a ribbon on it? Huh?
What are you gonna do with it? There's a deer or something, right? And this guy kind of trapped in the alley right down there. God thinks they're gonna kill it. We gotta do something. A deer. Yes. Like bear meat. Yes. Deacon Street. Yes.
Anyway, the thugs are gone, and Bobby does convince them that there's a deer there because, well, there is.
I don't know how we got here, but it's mine. I'm gonna take care of it. Yeah,
So he hops in the box, or a crate, with the deer, which he names Spike, and they're helping him get out of there. Anyway, they take him to the apartment of one of the kids, one of the girls.
Where's the mess? In the bathroom. Here you open. Put a bandage on a deer? How about just a medicine? Yeah.
The carnies come back looking for the deer.
Can I help you, boys? You looking for something? Nah.
They meet the thugs instead.
We're looking for an animal we lost. A deer? You got any money? I seen your deer, man. I know who has it.
We could take him at night when no one would see us. Shorty was right. We gotta take him back to the country. That's his home. She's right, Bobby. He's a wild animal. He could just croak.
Hey. Wait a minute. What's the matter? You told me where that kid is, Shorty. So I went here. And you don't get hurt.
Well, Bobby's out walking the deer at night. I think he was trying to take him to a park.
Just like me because of you.
After hours, of course, where it wouldn't be seen as much. But the thugs show up. And one of them is going to punch out the deer.
Ow! He bit me, so I hit him.
Bobby picks up the deer. Richard Mulligan and one of the kids are pretending to be police using a red plastic baseball bat. So they leave with the deer, but then the bad guys also try to leave, and they get caught by the real cops.
Where are we going, Shorty?
We're going to take your friend home where he should have been in the first place. I mean, at least we can bury him in the ground he came from.
They apparently drove all night, and now it's the next morning.
Yeah. Beautiful out here.
And guess what? Spike's alive.
Hey! Whoa! Wow, look at him.
They happen upon a bunch of other deer.
Where did they come from?
Bobby releases Spike. And he goes and joins the others. And that's the Deacon Street Deer for you. Alright. By request, this was the Deacon Street Deer. This was from Marty down in Florida, who sent me this and said, can you review this? Oh, I'm like, sure. Okay, I did. So there you go. This is Deacon Street Deer. This was a made-for-television movie from the magical world of Disney, or whatever that show was called. It was an hour-long program, this one, or 47 minutes once you cut out, or 44 minutes actually once you cut all the commercials. And aired in 1986. And if you notice, there was a young Mario Lopez in it. The star of this movie, whose name escapes me at this moment, that boy right there, I know him. He's done a lot of cartoon voices, actually, but what I know him from is from a movie called Enemy Mine with Dennis Quaid and I think it's Louis Gossett Jr. He played the Drac baby or son once he started to grow up a little bit. Zamis, which I actually watched that movie a couple of months ago, so I revisited that one. That's what I know him from. Other than that, I don't know anybody else in this movie other than Richard Mulligan, who had a small part in there too. Anyway, it's a story about, there's this circus, and I guess they're like bad circus people or whatever. They kidnap a deer, for lack of a better term, from the forest, put it in a crate, and they're going to bring it to their circus. And they throw it in the back of their truck, and they go through the inner city or wherever the heck they are. It's a city somewhere. And the back of the truck opens up, the crate falls out, and the deer pops out. And it's found by this kid here. And he kind of befriends the deer. Of course, it's in like a factory building at this point. There's some thugs who come in. By the way, one of the thugs was Kelly Jo Minter. You might remember her from the movie Summer School. She played Denise, and she was also in The People Under the Stairs. They come in, they try to steal the deer from him, but he says no, no, no. But anyway, eventually he convinces the other kids in the neighborhood that there's a deer there. And they take the deer home to one of the kids' apartment or house. I'm not sure what it was. Richard Mulligan is kind of like this guy in the neighborhood who sells like funny glasses and things. He says, you got to take that deer back to the forest. That's where it belongs. Meanwhile, the carnies come back looking for the deer, and they're looking all over the place for it. And they run into the three thugs, and the thugs are like, hey, man, I know where your deer is. Give me some money. I'll tell you where that deer is. Well, so they try to find the deer themselves. I think they're going to give it back to the carnival people. And they try to steal the deer back. And there's a confrontation in the park. And one of the guys punches out the deer because the deer allegedly bit him. And they think the deer is dead. So Richard Mulligan and the kids, they take the deer and they're going to go into the woods and bury him. But by the time they get to the woods, the deer is woken up and the deer is fine. And they drop him off in the woods with a bunch of other deer. And the deer apparently lived happily ever after. Spike. Spike was the name of this deer. So anyway, that is it for the Deacon Street Deer. I have nothing much more to tell you other than that. It says on the back here, neighborhood children protect the deer that has escaped from cruel carnival owners. They didn't really seem that cruel to me, to be honest with you, but hey, that's Disney for you. So anyway, that is the Deacon Street Deer. As far as I know, this was never released on videotape. Actually, I think it may have been released on videotape. I take that back. Not sure if it was in this country or other countries, or maybe just other countries. Never been released on DVD. This is some homemade box art that we whipped up. Kind of cool. It's the best you can do. The quality wasn't the greatest. It looks like this was from an original broadcast from 1986. Somebody must have kept it and it's been floating around. Who knows? But anyway, that's it. It's the Deacon Street Deer. It's okay for what it is. Kind of funny seeing Mario Lopez. It's one of his like second or third role he ever did. I think that not Beverly Hills. Saved by the Bell came maybe 4 years after this. Hated that show, but Tiffany Amber was cute. Anyway, that's it. It's the Deacon Street Deer. Let me know what you think about it. Leave some comments down below. Watch it. Bye.